This ideology leads to violence because, like you said before, Warren, listen, if Charlie was a evil person and he was pushing hate on campus and he was a fascist and you name it, that gives justification that he needs to be eliminated.
I have to ask this because people on the other side are going to say that they feel like the Democrat Party has been mean. Recently, with Charlie Kirk being assassinated,
He's a piece of garbage. Of course we were mean. I am so tired of people saying, oh, but, it's a terrible thing. No, Hitler is dead. I'm glad Hitler's dead. Evil people have no place in my world. He was a hateful human being. It was disgusting, the things that he said and did.
We could start with the claim that Charlie Kirk claimed that if he saw a black pilot, he would question their abilities.
He said a few things that if I was his friend, I would say, don't say it like that. I know what you're trying to say, but don't ever say, when I go into a cockpit, I hope that the pilot, if he's black, is qualified. I know what you're trying to say. You shouldn't hire underqualified pilots.
Yeah.
But saying it like that,
just because of the color of their skin.
He's probably not hanging out with black people, not knowing how offensive that's going to be for them.
I feel the very same way. And if I said what Charlie said, nobody would say anything because I'm black. But because he's white, they're going to make a fuss about it.
Yeah, it's the logical conclusion would be that concern. If we just, it's a simple thought experiment I like to run with people. You say, okay, we have 100 applicants for pilots. Let's just say for simplicity's sake, 50 are white, 50 are black. They go through the process to see if they qualify. For whatever reason, only 5, let's just say for the sake of argument, only 5 at the end are black and 80 are white. Well, on the surface, many people say, well, that's a discrepancy. That's problematic. It's like, okay, can you logically explain to me how is it possible to change that number without changing standards? Because there's only 2 logical possibilities: change the standards, or allow people to pass through the process that would not otherwise pass through. Go ahead.
Or it's disproportionate, right? I mean, you only, like, this is the thing that I think people miss, and they do it intentionally most of the time because they want to get clicks and they want to sound deep and woke and all that. It's like there's only so many black people that are going in the field of aviation. There's only so many. When you look at the totality of the population numbers in America, there's only so many black people that are in America in the first place, right? I mean, there's only 13% of the population. And there's a percentage of the population that are women. So when you look at pilots and people who are in aviation, it's less likely that there's women and more men in the field. Then you have to go through education. Then you have to go through age range. I mean, when you narrow it down, you're talking, 2% of eligible people. And then you have to look at what is the necessities or what are the career fields that black people traditionally pursue. And most of it is athletics, entertainment. And so it's a small portion of African-American people that are even applying in aviation. Overwhelmingly, whites are applying more than black. So when you look at the numbers, in order to make it fair and equitable, you're going to have to force people through that may not be eligible. It's just a numbers game. And I know Charlie very well, and Charlie was not a racist, clearly. But when it comes to the DEI thing, one of the airlines came out with a statement to say that they're going to try to hire X amount of African-American pilots. And when you say, I'm going to hire a number of pilots without credentializing what you're saying, meaning that are they the best pilots that you could find? Or are you going to say, I'm going to get whatever pilot I can get as long as they're black? And so this is kind of the scenario in which Charlie was expressing his feelings about was, are you getting the best and the brightest, or are you pushing it as I need a certain color and not I need a person with a certain amount of merit? And I thought the same thing.
Smart people are locking in their winter gear right now while it's on sale. Bearskin is running a 60% off deal right now, but only if you get your hoodie early, which is the hoodie I'm wearing right now. This hoodie is built like a tank. 340 GSM microfleece, 10 pockets with a clean, rugged fit that looks awesome. It zips right into the heavy storm rain jacket to become 100% waterproof when you need it. So when it turns cold, wet, and windy, you're not scrambling last minute. You'll get free U.S. shipping, fast delivery, and you've locked in your winter gear already. It's a win-win. Do yourself a favor, text the word Warren to 36912 to lock in your 60% off. Again, text Warren to 36912. You'll get a link sent straight to your phone so you can check it out later if you're busy right now. When you buy bearskin, you are supporting the Fallen Outdoors and the Hope for the Warriors Veterans programs. So you're not just buying cool gear, but you're also backing a cause that's important. Don't wait till you're freezing to realize your hoodie sucks. Get a bearskin now while it's 60% off. Text Warren to 36912.
Instead of dealing with it on the back end, you got to deal with it on the front end. You have to go to some of these schools and encourage young people to get into aviation from minority communities. Start to teach and inform and make it cool to want to fly airplanes and make it accessible. And when you do that, you'll have more participants, then you have more of a pool of people to draw from.
Yeah, and when I have this discussion, that's the response I get when I ask for what other option besides these two logical options. They say, well, no, when we're talking about equity, we're just talking about expanding the pool, making sure that you're letting people know in these neighborhoods that you can be a pilot. That's not equity, that's advertising. And what it's equality, what you're describing. It's just making sure that people are aware of it. It's still just trying to get the best people. But people conflate that in there. That's the slippery game that I see people play when I ask them that question. And it's just advertising.
They don't really have a good answer. They want to force equity into the conversation, and they either don't know what equity means or they want equity to be good, and it's really not good. Equity has no place in just about anything that we do in society. Equality makes sense. Diversity makes sense. But when you say equity of outcome, that doesn't work. You can't expect a person to study, 8 hours for a test and somehow they deserve to get the same grade of a person who didn't study at all. That equity means they both got the same score at the end of the day. Equality means they both got study material, and whatever you do with your study material is what you do with it. And in a meritocracy that we live in today is the reason why we're so successful. We don't live in a communist society where everybody somehow get the same outcome. And to be honest, the people who are trying to push this narrative, they don't really want equity. They don't want equity themselves. They want to be rewarded for the hard work that they put in. That's why they work on the jobs that they work on. That's why they are lobbying, or I don't say lobbying, but they're asking for promotion and raises, and they want to see what's next in their business venture. And it is a competitive market, and they want it to be competitive. And if for all the business owners out there, you don't believe in equity as a business owner, you believe in equality and you believe in diversity, because diversity and diversity, let me explain diversity real quick because people misconstrue that. Diversity is not diversity of color. Diversity is diversity of, you could say, culture, diversity of thought, diversity of historicity of your background. Like when I hire people, I don't really care what color you are. But when I do look at diversity, I'm looking at the diversity of your resume. Somebody that came from this area, somebody worked in this field, somebody that's different in different ways. I would love to bring you in and interview you. And if you happen to be white or black or whatever, that's irrelevant to me.
We all don't want unqualified people to do dangerous fucking jobs, period. Doesn't matter what race they are. If all of a sudden white people became a minority and they had to start hiring dopey whites,
we'd be upset. And he makes that argument a lot. Like he makes it with sports. He's like, all right, if the NFL is going to be 50% black and, so, but again, like the context is taken out.
Yes.
And this ideology has gone too far because unfortunately, there are people in the conservative movement, there are bad actors. But the unfortunate part is, and I don't think anybody should get killed for what they have to say, just beat them in a debate. But Charlie wasn't even that person. Charlie was very nuanced in his arguments. He could debate, and he was kind, and he was gentle, and he'll whoop you if you deserve to get whooped in an argument. That's your fault you got whooped. It wasn't his. But them killing Charlie with a false sense of reality, it makes it even worse.